Hello, everyone. I'm Airon White. I'm manager of product marketing here at Bigcommerce. And today I'm chatting with one of our amazing product managers in Kyiv, Ukraine, Kristina Pototska. Kristina is going to fill us in on her journey and more.
Happy to be here. Thanks for this opportunity.
Will you tell us a little bit about your background?
I started when I just graduated from the university. I was looking for any job that I could find basically as a former student. I went to sales because that was probably the only area where you can get hired with no experience in anything. So I started in sales. Then I went to a little bit of other sales and marketing. And then eventually I ended up being in product, which is what I've been doing for probably the past 10 years.
Outside of work, what are your passions in life?
Oh, I have crazy passions. I love snowboarding and I love surfing, which is an absolute madness, but I honestly love that a lot. When I first tried surfing, I thought that I will never do it again. But now I've been doing that for probably 5 years and I absolutely love it.
Outside of snowboarding and surfing, what are any other fun facts you'd like to share with us?
I love to sleep like a lot. And my friends, they're always making jokes about me and basically how much I love sleeping. And one time we were in Montenegro and there was a hurricane and I slept during the hurricane. So basically when I woke up, everything on the street were trees were laying down. It was a little bit of damage of the cafes and windows were lying there, but I was basically sleeping during that whole time. And next time it happened, I slept during the beginning of the war in Ukraine. So basically I was sleeping and I couldn't hear the explosions, nothing. And my friend woke me up and I was trying to turn off the phone saying like, don't call me, I'm sleeping. And she was like, Kristina, wake up, it's war. And I was like, what war? I'm sleeping. So yes, that's my strong side. When I sleep, I cannot hear anything.
Other than sleeping through hurricanes and the war, those are really interesting facts. Why don't we just go back in time then and tell me what you wanted to be when you were 10 years old? Like, what did you see little Kristina growing up into as an adult?
I've always wanted to be a surgeon. I might still want that, but just fortunately, I didn't end up being a surgeon and I ended up working in tech companies.
Maybe you'll still become a surgeon and create some tech that will help in surgery. Why did that desire change or when?
It's not that it changed. Like at some point, I just went to a medical school and I went to learn management. So it just left over as a child dream. But maybe that's for good. I don't know if I'm ready to cut people.
I think that there's still something special about that surgery. Like you still look at things precisely and with a critical eye. So I can see a little bit of tiny Kristina today. You were in sales, and then what did you do before you became a product manager? I know you've been doing this for about 10 years, but what was it between sales and product manager?
I joined a startup and I was the only employee there and I had to do everything. That was a very early stage startup where I was doing sales, marketing, support, product management, all of it. And eventually, as this startup was growing, I was just, like organically giving up everything that I don't like and keeping only what I really like to do. And this is how I end up being a product manager.
So on your road to becoming a product manager, like what were the challenges that you faced?
To be honest, at that time, product management was something really new. So there was no like product management as we know it and see it today. There were not much content available to learn. There were not much, experience in that sphere at that time. So basically, we had to learn we were doing something, then we were understanding if it was wrong or right, and basically learning from our mistakes. And during that time, we had investors. They invested $300,000 in our startup. And while we were learning, we've lost almost all that money, which was very painful. But that was the cost, for learning for the whole team.
What was the best professional advice that you've ever received?
Fail, learn, grow. Without failing, you will never you will never learn. But the best that you can do from there, you need to grow after you fail. Otherwise, you will just fail all the time, and it's going to be a very, very expensive learning.
This month is Women's History Month, and the theme this month is celebrating women who tell our stories, which of course is why we're having the chat today. So this theme honors women in every community around the world who devoted their lives and talents to producing art, pursuing truth, and reflecting the human condition decade after decade. So when we think about this type of a theme, what gets you excited about this theme for Women's History Month?
During the decades, women were actually fighting for their rights, and I'm happy that they succeeded. And today we have a lot of examples of women transforming the world of technologies, art, sport, politics, and others. And I truly feel fortunate that you, me, and others are growing up in a society like that. So that's probably my favorite part here.
I have two little ones under the age of 3, and I love that they will grow up getting to see a recording like this with you, Kristina, all the things that you've done for your family, for Ukraine, for everything that has been going on the last year. And then also they'll get to see the challenges and the changes that people have made and invested to make things better for women around the world. You inspire me. I'd like to know who inspires you, like when you were growing up, and why were you inspired?
I'm an absolute fan of British history and monarchy. I have watched all the documentaries about the Queen. I'm truly inspired of her ability to learn and adapt during her long journey being a queen. And I watched a lot of documentaries about how she was basically stepping into this role. And to me, that's very similar to my personal experience that I had, where you know nothing, but you have a strong desire to learn and succeed in something.
What do you hope that other women will take away from it this month?
The sky is the limit. If you truly want something and you are passionate about it, you should just go and get it.
I appreciate all of your perspective around Women's History Month, and like I said, something I can share with my little ones. So I love it. So how long have you worked at Bigcommerce? For a couple of years now, right?
3.5, almost. Time flies.
What convinced you to say yes to join the team?
My project as a product manager on my previous company was to create an integration for Bigcommerce. So basically I had a really good understanding of the APIs, of the platform in general. And then I saw an open position for Bigcommerce product manager in Kyiv. And I started Googling it because I didn't know that Bigcommerce have an office in Kyiv. And I thought it's a fake. And I really wanted to join this company because I loved the product, I liked it, and I was very interested in learning how it's going to look like on the other side of e-commerce. You know, when you were always working on a partner side, how it's going to look like to work on a platform side. So that was easy. Easy choice. No need to convince me I wanted that.
Tell me about what your typical day/night/evening looks like for you.
Imagine that you are riding a bicycle which is on fire, and you are on fire, and everything around you is on fire, but you are still driving. So my usual typical day is crazy but very interesting. So I never get bored. I always have a lot of things to do.
While your bicycle is on fire and you're on fire and everything around you is on fire, what excites you for work each day? Is it putting out the fires? Like what keeps you getting back on that bicycle?
I love creating products that customers love. So that's something that motivates me. I love doing something important to to the end users of this product.
I can totally relate. It's seeing that end user experience and building something great. What would you consider your biggest win so far while being at Bigcommerce?
It's the volunteer project that we are still working on with a small group of Bigcommerce teammates. It's a Stand with Ukraine app. So basically that's an app that allows our merchants and partners to support people in Ukraine. So that's probably my favorite one in terms of, that how I feel about it and which difference it actually makes.
Such a wonderful endeavor to support everyone in the Ukraine. I have a few final questions for you. So let's get into a little bit about advice that you would give to women who are about to enter the workforce. Like, what kind of advice would you give to someone who's embarking on their career?
It's going to be short. Just do it. The sky is the limit. If you want something, if you feel interested in entering this role or any other role, just do it.
What is the most important quality for a person to have who wants to move into product management?
To me, it's communication skills and creativity, I think. That's everything in PM role. Communication skills would allow you to be this glue, that connects teams together towards a single goal. And creativity will help you to find solutions for a very complex problems.
Now, are there any skills that you think that a person should learn to get into this type of a role?
If you want to enter this role, of course, you need to have some hard skills to do that. And for that, there are a lot of trainings and courses that you can basically complete to have at least the understanding of the hard skills and the basics.
What other advice, if you had to someone who was getting to specifically into product management, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to never lose this aspiration, because there might be times when something is very hard and challenging, and the best thing that product managers should do is keep this aspiration and product mindset and thinking customers first. So sometimes it's hard not to lose that, and that's the most important. Once you lose that, you are not able to make good product decisions. So if you are an aspired product manager, never lose that feeling.
Kristina, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Airon. It's always a huge pleasure for me to spend time with you.
And thanks to everyone who has tuned in to listen to this, to watch our faces on this screen. If you're watching this or if you're just listening in, we are smiling, very big smiles. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.